Welcome to the Wally Show Aftercast, all the stuff that we did not get to during the course of the show today. I see the flurry of activity outside our window here at the station as they are getting ready for like a chili cook-off today. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of surprised, Gavin, because you're like a little bit of a foodie guy. I'm kind of surprised you didn't want to make a chili. Do you make chili?
I do. I make like a white bean chicken chili every once in a while.
That's
I just didn't
bougie.
have time. Didn't
Okay.
have time for it leading up to this with the sick kid and everything. But I do like it. We make a black bean chili for Christmas too. So, and that was with me earlier saying that I'm not the biggest chili fan.
Do you put corn in your chili?
No, but actually that does sound good.
It's really good, actually. I started doing that, and then I got to where I kind of made up my own recipe from other recipes I got online, and I really liked it, but then I started making it too hot. But I like the corn in it. Betty Lou did not make chili. She made
peanut butter cookies.
Chuchis.
Which we've already participated in.
I have not had one because I'm on a diet.
Delicious.
Were they good?
You ate fudge.
I had two pieces of my fudge that I made.
So what's the difference?
Well, I know what's in it.
Self-made food is...
Who's to say, though, that doesn't have more calories or points than my cookies?
I'm not sure. When you make the fudge, though, there's not a lot of ingredients in it, so it's not that bad. It's cocoa powder, salt, vanilla, like a dash of salt, vanilla, 3 cups of sugar, and milk. That's it. That's all that's in fudge. And
good.
Butter. Oh, yeah, 3 tablespoons of butter. But that's it. So that's really not that bad for you in small doses.
Well, that's what mine is.
I know.
Just a dose of
I
peanut butter.
will try one of your cookies. I do love peanut butter cookies. Mm-hmm. Next to oatmeal raisin. Oatmeal raisin, I think, has become my favorite.
Gross. Yeah. Well, that's when you know you're getting old.
That's true. Yeah, when you want
Do you like
anything with
oatmeal
oatmeal,
raisin?
I need some oatmeal.
Actually sounds good.
I need some
more
bran.
fiber.
Yeah.
That I think that is my favorite cookie. I do like white chocolate macadamia nut cookies though too. Those are good.
Yeah, let's get to this lunch.
I know. I hate when it's sitting outside.
Hungry.
Like we've already done our day for the most part. You know, the worst part of our day and the biggest part of it is done, and everyone else is just getting in and like running out for breakfast and stuff.
Yeah.
And so seeing all this chili cooking, I'm like starting to get like super hungry.
It's funny because like half an hour ago you had a line where like, oh, let's wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
And it's like people are literally walking in to start their day.
For their
as
day.
we say that sentence.
Absolutely. So I wish I had brought in chili, but I didn't have time to do that. So I did though. I did make fudge last night. Betty Rock made some homemade cookies, so it'll be a lot of fun. I won't be eating much because of this stupid diet, so we have little samplings of each thing. And then I'm on vacation today. My wife went to Atlanta, so
my man.
I'm going to text her and tell her you said that.
I already did. It's just so funny. She was weighing in on the snap judgment we did on the show earlier. Mm-hmm. I'm like, you're driving. How are you texting me? I think she's doing speech to talk. I would hope. But she's driving to Atlanta. And then she was like, oh, you could come see me this weekend. And I'm like, ooh, that's a good thought. But then we got to drive 2 cars back. And I don't know if you like that. So I'm not sure. I might go. I might run to Atlanta this weekend.
Really?
Yeah, I might run
Really?
to Atlanta.
Like tomorrow after the show?
Yeah, like when we get off. If we get off early enough, I could be there by like 5 or 6, and then I could go have dinner with her, stay there
Would you
Friday night,
surprise her?
all day Saturday. Yeah, I would surprise her.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and then we would come back Sunday. And so
That's
I don't know.
wild because you have like the option
I know.
of a solo weekend.
I know.
Like
And
I would be losing my mind.
I got to tell you, solo weekends are pretty great.
I miss them so much.
It's not that you don't love your wife.
Exactly.
It's not. Trust me, it's not. It's that you do the things that normally you can't do because you don't have somebody else's time or wants or needs to take into consideration. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so like every once in a while a solo weekend is nice. I do like it. Mm-hmm. But so you'll find out tomorrow, I guess, in weekend plans, and I'm like, I'm sad. Weekend plans. All right, so Lady Rock, what do you got?
Yeah, I found this interesting. There's a TikTok account. It's called Catherine Hates Boomers. Now, boomers are, I think they're one generation
above me,
What is the
older
age?
than you.
Yeah, like I'm Gen X, so it's the generation above me, so it's my
So
parents.
they're probably in their 80s.
Yes.
Born between 46 and 64.
46?
That's what it says.
46
What?
and 64.
What's the generation before that?
Born between 1946
Right.
and, okay.
What's the generation before
I don't know
that?
if they had a name.
Because my dad was born in 39.
Oh, wow.
Was he really?
Yeah, my
Maybe
dad
the
was.
Great Depressioners?
Yeah, I don't know. And my dad was born in 39, and my mom was born in 41, I think.
Wow.
So that's crazy to think that they're not even boomers. I guess
How old were they when they had you?
The silent
I
generation.
have no idea.
The
Wait,
silent
they had-
generation.
Oh, really? They had
Between
5
28
of us.
and 45, which is, World War-y. So.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Well, anyways, boomers are of the older generation. And so this TikTok account, I guess the lady's name is Catherine. She does not like the older generation. And so she posted a video of the real her opinion as to why the real reason your boomer boss schedules so many meetings. It also has to do with paperwork instead of emails, working from home. This video has gone viral. I've pulled the audio. I want to see what you think about her opinion.
Boomers love meetings. They'll have meetings about meetings. Meetings make them feel important because next time somebody's trying to schedule something like a doctor's appointment, the doctor says, can we do it on Wednesday the 12th? They can say, no, sorry, I can't. I have a meeting that day. Oh, you're an important person who has meetings. Anybody can email. Work is about showing your title. An email just does not convey that grandeur. They also love their paperwork so they can file things away in a drawer to never be seen again. But having paperwork, that makes you important. That's why we can't work from home because nobody's going to see you in your suit. You're not going to be able to tell them you have meetings scheduled.
So no one can see you in your suit. No one can see you with your files of paperwork. No one can see you in a meeting. And so she's pretty much saying that boomers need to feel important and they need to be seen.
All I heard in that was like, because I'm kind of like, I'm Gen X, but I lean boomer. All I heard in that was someone has a horrible work ethic and doesn't want to be monitored so that they can go and do their laundry or pick up their dry cleaning or go watch a movie during a work day.
Now, what if, though, let's say that you worked with this person and she does get her work done, but she does better if she's working from home through email and not having to go to meetings and all that.
Yeah. I mean, because I hate meetings. You know that. I fall asleep in most of them. Because there is a thing that a lot of meetings, like Betty, this meeting could have been an email or this meeting could have been a fist fight, which was the t-shirt Betty wanted to get for me. So I do agree with her on that. But I think that there is an accountability because a lot of people did start working from home. And working from home does create some really wonderful personal things because you do a little bit of work, you go, goof around or run some errands or whatever, do a little more work. If you're doing the work, then that's fine. Like for me, like I work here and then I go home and I work a grip at home. But I work, and I know Betty and Gavin both do the same thing. And so everybody's doing their jobs and I don't have a problem with that. It's when you see people that are home and they're working from home, but then you're like not seeing the effort when they're here, that's a problem for me.
Yeah, but that might not be the case with this girl. I don't know, but I think it's interesting that she has so much of a vendetta against an older
someone tried to make her
generation.
work. That's the thing. Someone tried to make her work and actually work and put in a full day's work is what I feel like. I feel like she's that person that seems very entitled to me, like the person I wouldn't hire. Like it's funny, we were at a thing for work, and it was like one of these like seminars or whatever, and we were sitting at a table, and they gave us all like scenarios for how would you handle this situation with an employee, and we were sitting with one of our younger people at the table who I genuinely like. This girl, she is funny. Sarcastic,
highly opinionated.
I didn't even say who it was, and Betty knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Highly opinionnated, super jaded.
Yes.
And so like she's everything I like. And so
She's you in female
She
form.
really is. So she and I get along really good. But it was funny when like, how would you handle this situation? And her thing, because she has a bent against the company infringing on any kind of personal time, or you have to work late and you don't get to go to the Taylor Swift concert because we've got this big pitch. Yeah, and I have very few boundaries when it comes to work. And I was telling her how I would handle it, and she was just aghast. Because she couldn't fathom a world where your work actually took a priority over something that you already had planned or wanted to do because something at work changed. And for me, that's just life. That's just the way it is.
And I know we've had this conversation. We're not going to beat a dead horse
Sure.
again, but I would disagree in that I think there's a right way and a wrong way, and boundaries are a good thing. And while, yes, you can work until you're dead, I don't see that as healthy. I see it as you need to have boundaries. Having boundaries is healthy. So if you feel like you don't want to take work home with you, then you need to have a job where that is available to you and stick to it.
Well,
I know that's something you don't live by.
Right. But inside a boundary, just like anything else, inside of boundaries, there's moderation. Like having a company that is calling you all hours of the day, won't let you live, won't let you eat dinner with your family, 100% I get that. But when somebody is like, hey, I need you to do this, can you work late tonight or whatever? It's not like, oh my gosh, it's my boundaries, you know?
Yeah.
I've put in so many extra hours for this place over the 18 years, and it's just part of my job, you know? And I ran into a guy who was a younger guy, and he was at a job, and he was there for a week, and he had told them, you know, I want, you know, work-life balance and this. And I'm like, and he was gone in a week. They fired him. And it's like, no, you have to earn work-life balance in my world. So when you're working with older people, you have to earn that right. When you prove yourself that you're a hard worker and you're dedicated, then you'll get some of those rewards of that work-life balance. But if you don't put that in first, you're gone if you work with older people.
You are an employee. Like, you work for the company.
Right.
Like, you shouldn't be walking into a situation where you expect them to do anything for you,
right?
In essence, in my mind, like, you're getting there, and then you're right, like, work your way towards that balance.
Yeah, you earn the respect, I think, because they're like, if it were me, there were people that, like, if I had people like that that were working under me, I just wouldn't hire them. Or if they were that way, I would just remove them and be like, yeah, it's not a good fit. You obviously want something that I cannot give you, and so it's fine. Like, Betty and I have different work boundaries, but Betty has earned over the course of a lot of years that respect of me that I do. I really do try to respect her work boundaries. And even Gavin too. I do things that technically I should just shove on Gavin's plate because he's a producer, you know, but I don't do that because I want you guys to have a good life and I want you guys to be happy and want to come in to work.
You need to do that for yourself as well, because when you're healthy, then everyone else can be healthy.
I know. I'm trying, kind of.
Are you?
I am.
I don't know.
I'm doing better.
I think there's a part of you that enjoys working.
Yeah.
I don't think you like to sit still.
Yeah.
Or you don't like to read.
Right.
You can watch TV, but you'll fall asleep. You like TikTok.
I will.
But there's not really, and you like woodworking, but there's only certain times you can do that.
Right.
I think you get fulfillment or life energy out of some of the projects that you do for work.
The ones I want to do.
Right.
Absolutely. When I want to create,
but if you end up doing something where you're at home and you're just trudging through something that you don't want to do, that's where you need to create boundaries and be like, I'm giving it this amount of time.
Right.
If I don't get it done in that time, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
I'm doing the best I can.
I pushed through on something the other night for a project I'd already done. That then there was a technical problem, and I started rebuilding it. I pushed through for another 3 hours on it, and it hit about 8:30, and I go to bed at 9, and I was so mad because I hadn't solved the problem yet.
That's not healthy.
And I was so mad, and it made me bitter about, I'm putting in all this time, you know, and then sometimes you don't feel appreciated for the time that no one sees,
right?
You know, and so, but then I'm like, okay, but it's part of my job, and I want to do a good job, and I want to make sure that what I do is good. Which, by the way, I haven't even looked to see if it posted yet because we have a new system, and I had to work on the posting. Can you look just if you want to hear me scream on the Aftercast, tell me what's up at wayfm.com right now on like the featured post.
Gavin's gonna check.
I'm curious if I'm going to explode.
The last one was something that Joy posted. Did I click it?
It should have been up on the first page. Dadgummit! Hours I've spent on this stupid thing.
See, this is what I'm saying, though.
What is our new website?
Did it need to be up last night?
Let me see here.
It needed to be up.
It is a new system.
Yeah, it needed to be up this week.
This week.
But today. So it needed to be up today.
How come?
Because we're in the week Friday, and I didn't have a post yet, and so I've been trying to get it for 2 days.
That's where you are black or white.
Yeah.
There is no in between.
Right.
And we talked about this.
Right.
Do you remember this conversation where you hear them say post, blog every week, got to get it done.
Right.
So you see it as a deadline. It's not a deadline though. It's just on our radar.
Right.
So yes, there's something that needs to be posted if it's good, if it's good quality, and I'm not saying what you posted isn't. But I think you have a hard time with boundaries when it comes to work.
Yeah.
Is all
for
I'm
sure.
saying.
Did you find it?
This is this.
Why would that not
30th?
post? I even called the guy who's in charge of the new
Actually,
system.
it is kind of interesting because
I have it set for today. Yeah, are you looking at the back end of it?
6 o'clock, date published. So
It should be 6 a.m. It was a 24-hour clock.
You have it set for set now.
Yeah.
And then you have it set to scheduled, but I wonder if it needs to be just
Just
set to
hit
published.
post. Just hit published on it for me, please. I hate new things. I just hate new things.
Let's see.
Everything was working fine, and then you changed it all.
You see how calm and demure we
Yes.
I
are?
don't think demure is the right word.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Where
Anyway.
I need my 8 hours of sleep, and I will
Right.
get my
Oh,
8 hours of sleep,
That must be nice.
and then just put it for the next day.
Yeah.
It'll
Okay.
get done.
Okay,
You know what?
I'll deal with this
You know who
later.
you kind of sound like, and
Yeah.
it's perfect segue for my next story.
Yeah.
You kind of sound like Christian Bale.
Oh, absolutely.
Do I want? No! No! Don't shut me up!
I love that Christian Bale meltdown on the site of Batman was one of the greatest. Because again, I can't even make fun of him. I can't even take because he was probably trying to do the right thing, and
What?
everyone
Wait a
around
minute.
him was doing
Wait
the
a minute.
wrong
You're
thing.
saying I can't even make fun of him?
Yeah.
The reason that we have that audio
Yeah.
up is so you can make fun
But
of
now
him.
I get it. I get it.
Okay.
He was just trying to do his job, and
good
people
grief.
around him were not doing his job the way they
Okay.
should have.
Okay, so here's the story. Christian Bale, he doesn't want to be remembered for the time he lost his cool on the set, okay?
No, don't just be sorry. Think!
Okay, so he wants to be remembered for these things. Him and his wife decided that they were going to build a village for LA's foster care system, okay? So I guess for the LA foster care system is the worst it's ever been.
Oh, wow.
They have the highest number of children in care. And so Christian Bale and his wife put up $22 million and bought some 60-mile, a plot of land over in Palmdale, California.
Okay, yeah.
Which is 60 miles north of LA. But what they're doing is this village that they're going to create is going to keep siblings in foster care so they can stay together.
But in a good place.
Yeah, and they can all be
I
together in
love
the
that.
same place. Now, there's going to be 12 homes, 2 studio apartments, a community center, gardens, recreational spaces, sports areas. And so hopefully that'll all go down with no bumps.
Yeah.
Because if it does, we could have
Well, Christian, I'm a little
situations-
confused about exactly what you're trying to do.
What don't you get about it?
Because it's a foster care thing, and I was never I was never an orphan.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that I don't care about this. I'd just like to say that I
No!
Okay.
No! Don't shut me up.
Poor Christian.
Is this
Yeah.
worse, or was do you guys remember the Tom Cruise one? Where Tom Cruise went off on people for like not wearing masks on set at the beginning
yes.
of
COVID,
There's nothing
yes.
that beats an
Yeah.
actor just
Yeah.
berating people.
And Mel Gibson on the
what a
phone
beast.
to his daughter, I think
gosh.
it was.
Was
and
it
like
Mel Gibson or was it Alec Baldwin?
Alec Baldwin had one to his daughter. Mel Gibson was to his ex-wife. I will never forgive you. Like it stinks that like when all this stuff is out there and it's for consumption and
Yeah.
it's just your worst day coming back to haunt you.
I will never forgive you. I will never forgive you for what you've done to me.
He's really mad. He took his house burning down in LA much better than that.
Wow. And then Alec Baldwin, he
Yeah.
called his daughter like a pig.
Yeah,
or
it was
something.
rough.
Yeah.
But
So-
again, I get it. I get being caught
Do
on a
you
bad
get
day.
it?
I do.
You?
I get being caught on a bad day. Oh, you found the Tom Cruise?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah, I
we
forget.
have everyone's bad days.
I don't ever want to see it again.
Yeah.
And if you don't do it, you're fired.
Wow.
Oh, that sounds like Wally.
Dude, I've had days like that here. 100%. 100% I've had days like that here where I'm not my best for sure.
One of my favorites was it was in the middle of support drive, so we're already tested.
Yeah.
And we got some liners in last minute, and they weren't written correctly.
Yeah.
And this was back when Zach was with us, and we go back into the studio to record these liners. And Wally, we just know that he's slamming doors and hitting things, and he's like, This is ridiculous. And we're like, okay, I don't know. And he comes back, he's on his cell phone, and he's yelling at our boss and saying, they didn't write it correctly. You know what? I'm not going to do it. You can just fire me right now. Fire me right now. I don't care. And me and Zach are like, oh, what's going on? He was ready to leave his job
Yeah.
over some liners.
Yeah. I'm very passionate,
Yeah.
and I'm very black and white with certain things.
You've had a chill last couple years.
I have been better. I mean, I've been a lot better than I was.
This is better.
For sure, yeah. And I'm not there yet. I'm never gonna reach
But
Betty
I don't
Rock
think
perfect.
you want to be
No.
too better.
No,
I think that's
I
just
don't.
the edge.
Yeah, because if you become something you're not, ultimately, then you're not going to be doing what you used to do or what made you great at what you do. Like, there's a lot of radio shows that I know that they got lazy and they stopped being great, and I don't want to be that. Or when I get to that point where I'm just done, I should retire. Like the other night when I was working on this thing that apparently still isn't posted.
Yeah, it's posted.
Oh, it is?
Shut me up!
Oh, I gotta call somebody about this. Why? You told me I could hit it as scheduled. I even asked. But the thing about it is like I was mad that I was still working. Like at 8 o'clock at night, I was mad that I was still working and resentful of still putting in, and so that's a problem. Like, because normally it's like it's fun, it fills me up, but it became negative.
I think what you should do, and just hear me out.
Yeah.
Because there are gonna be days we're all three dealing with this, where typically there's gonna be something that you really don't want to do with your job. Keep
Everybody has
those
that.
for here.
Yeah.
At this location.
Yeah.
At the studio.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to creating something or something that you know is gonna be helpful for you,
Sure.
give you life,
Like writing parody songs. I love that.
go home and do that.
That's a good idea.
Keep home where you create and do the stuff that's wearing you down here.
That's good
especially
advice.
especially too, because if you're having IT problems, the people that you're going to need to talk to are up and running now,
Right.
instead of 8 o'clock at night when they're probably with their family and don't want to be disturbed.
Right. Okay. That's really solid advice because
Thank
I know
you.
you keep you try to not take work home with you,
Right.
Because you'll stay here later to do that. Whereas
Yes.
I'm gonna go work from home.
Yeah.
But you like to keep those boundaries. But I really it's a really good idea of like keep the stuff you don't like at work and then the stuff that fills you up.
Yeah.
Do that at home because it's more fun and it doesn't
And
make
if it keeps you
home
up late,
bad.
you can only blame yourself.
Yeah, and you don't care though.
Yeah, you
like
don't
I
care.
I don't care. Like if I'm working on a song till 8:30 or 9 at night, I'm still like giggling at myself, going, "Oh,
Yeah.
that was good. I like
you're
that."
constructing something that is creative versus some things are just pure, like,
Part of the
get
job.
it done,
Work.
grunt work.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff that's
Yeah.
just
But
expected.
that's part of everybody's
I love that.
situation.
That's
Go,
solid,
Betty.
solid advice. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no.
Finally.
No,
Took me 18 years,
I know.
but I got one.
Got my respect.
This squirrel finds a nut every now and then.
But then you're gonna lose it in 3 seconds
That's
from now.
true.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Like in a marriage, you're like, "Oh, I got points." Yeah, you never get to cash those points in as a husband. Those points are fictitious, and they're gone the next breath. And so, same thing with you, Rock. But thank you for this moment. Do you have any birthdays?
oh, I do.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, what do you got?
I do. I have one. Hold up. Chicken butt.
Wait a
Whoa.
minute. Put a little love in it.
Da-na-na-na.
Is that
Laura. Laura celebrated a birthday yesterday. Laura.
Oh, good for you.
Thank you, Christian
we
Bale.
should use that more often.
She hit the big 4-0 this year.
Oh, wow.
She said, my 4 and 7-year-olds would say I'm the best mom. They might be biased, and I'm okay with that. K-dramas and manga,
Oh, Korean
manga
dramas.
are my obsessions.
Nice.
M-A-N-G-A.
Oh, manga.
Yeah,
or
manga.
Manga?
Yeah.
It's
What is
manga.
that?
It's Japanese comic books
Yeah.
for animes.
Oh, okay.
No, well, there you go. Well, I love it. Well, happy birthday to you.
What advice would you give to Laura turning the big 4-0? You have been there, done
Yeah.
that.
A lot of years ago.
What would you say, Betty?
16
What were you
years
doing
ago.
at 40?
I was here.
You were probably close to just a couple years into this.
2 years, right?
I
'Cause that
guess
would have
I
been
guess I
16
started
years
at
ago or
I guess I
17?
started at
39?
38, 39.
39.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Oh boy, that would have been a bad year because like the first 3 years were bad here.
Yeah, he was sleeping on the floor in an apartment.
Working hard. Boy, the thing about getting older, like certain years, like the 40 years didn't bother me. Like turning 40 didn't bother me. Like
Did
I
it
wasn't
your wife?
no, she was pretty good with that. 50 got me a little bit harder.
Dirt bike.
56, like not a big deal. But then I had a friend of mine that's turning 60, and the other day, I just had this horrible like downward spiral realization that I'm close to 60, and I'm seeing people that are like 78, and they're just in horrible shape and things are bad. And I'm like, and I got this overwhelming like depression where I was like, I am going to die soon. And I am going like, and this is it for me. My life is done. Like it was so dark, so fast, so heavy.
Was this in the middle of you having to create a password for that?
Yes, for my healthcare. No, but like it was just it caught me off guard because I'm like I'm still 56, I'm still active, I still do things, and I love life. But then the age thing of it hit me that I'm way closer to death than I am anything else. You know?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's true, but it's true.
Yeah. But that's Well,
and I don't want to be like I see a lot of these people, you know, and like. I'm glad my daughter's getting married now so I can walk her down the aisle, you know, so that's good because the cold hand of the reaper is just sitting on my shoulder.
Once again, beating a dead horse again, but, you know, counseling could be helpful for those things.
You only get one today, Rock.
Okay.
The last thing, good advice,
right.
I got you.
I used up my quota for
Don't
today.
push your luck.
Sorry.
All right, that's going to have to do it for our Aftercast, and as always, thanks for being a potty.
Growing up in poverty has never been easy for children, but with the added challenges of the pandemic, conflict, and natural disasters, families around the world are facing an unprecedented food crisis. Unfortunately, those who are already hungry are now even more desperate. But by sponsoring a child through compassion, you can help provide life-sustaining essentials such as food and clean water. And with your compassionate support, that child can not only survive, but also flourish. You can find out how and choose a child to sponsor when you click on the compassion banner at wayfm.com.